Hi guys, my name is Nikita. I'm 23. I grew up in Cologne, Germany, and now I live here in Da Nang, Vietnam as a digital nomad. And in this video, I will tell you my whole story, how I landed from Cologne, Germany, here in Da Nang, Vietnam as a digital nomad. So let's start off basically with my childhood dreams, how everything started. And as a child, I always knew that I didn't want to go like the normal path, because also in my childhood, I didn't have a lot of friends, also like in the high school, and I never knew the direction in which I want to move in. And this is why I also started social media at a very young age. I started my first YouTube channel at 10 years old, 2013. I did sketches, comedy and stuff like that. And everything led to this, that I started my own YouTube channel. I tried to document my journey, and my core goal is to build my stretching app called Stretchify, which actually launched a couple of days ago in Europe. Let's start everything from scratch, how I landed here, what my goals are, what my weaknesses are, what is working good, what didn't work well. And let's start off in the year 2021, where I did my high school degree, or in Germany you call it Abitur. So I did my high school degree. I didn't have a lot of friends, and I just didn't know what I want to do with my life after that. I was quite lost, as you would say. And this is why I looked up to my older brother. He also studied supply chain management. We have 13 years apart, so he's much older than me. And he studied logistics or supply chain management. And this is why I said, okay, I also want to do it. And I didn't even know what supply chain was or what logistic was. And yeah, so this is why I worked for a pellet company together with my dual studies. I worked there for 3 to 4 years, and it was like a corporate job. And I did sales, I did marketing, I did supply chain, stuff like that. Got to know a lot of different people and got a great taste of the corporate life. And I already found out, okay, that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. I stayed there from 2021 till 2024. And then in 2024, I needed to do an exchange year. And I thought about, okay, where do I want to do my exchange year? And I thought about going to Los Angeles first, because I don't know, it was like my dream to go to America. And first I want to go to New York, then Miami, but it's all very expensive, and Los Angeles too, of course. And I just didn't know where I want to do it because of the price as well. And then I decided, okay, my company where I worked for is based in Australia. So why not just go to Australia? And I don't know, just that the boss thinks, okay, he's such a nice employee, he flies to Australia because the company is based there. And this was really my thought. So this was one of my core motivations to go there. And yeah, so this is why I first thought, okay, I want to go to Sydney because the company is based there. And I had a chat with a girl in the company. We weren't friends or something, just employees. She told me to go to the Gold Coast in Australia, which is the Australian Miami, you can call it. You need to imagine, it was the day where you need to place your tick. So basically where you want to go. And this is like the final decision where you want to go for 6 months in the year 2024. And I talked to my parents, I talked to my girlfriend, and my decision was to go to Los Angeles. But I don't know, on this day, she explained me everything about Gold Coast, that it's the Australian Miami. And I just thought, wow, it sounds so interesting. Why not just go there? I chose to go to the Gold Coast, and this changed my life. This is where I also met Liam and Mabo, because 1 week before I flew to the Gold Coast, I typed in YouTube Gold Coast Vlog. And this is where I found the YouTube channel, and they had like, I don't know, 100 or 200 followers at this time. And it's so random, but I found them, and they were living on the Gold Coast in the next neighborhood where I live, like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 kilometers from me at this time. And actually I moved into one apartment, and we didn't even know that we each other existed. And I still moved like, I don't know, 20 meters from their apartment. So it's very crazy, and it's not a coincidence. I'm a Christian, I believe in God. And I think that everything is strictly planned, and that nothing is a coincidence in this life, because I can't explain to me how this can be my life, really. So this is where we live together. We connected, and it's the first day. I can also show you some videos here. This is where we connected, and from the day one, we felt like we were friends since, I don't know, 10 years or something. It just felt natural. And then we moved together. We did so much crazy stuff together. We cooked together, lived together. We did a road trip through half of Australia in the Australian outback. It was the craziest time of my life. Until this point, it's a time where I always love to look back at. Yeah, and then basically in June 2024, I flew from Australia to Japan for a week. I was alone in Tokyo, my first big solo trip. It was also very nice. At this point I was 20 years old, and I don't know, I felt quite lost in the city, but it was also a nice experience. And then from Tokyo I flew to Frankfurt, Germany, and I met my family again after 6 months. It felt so unreal because, I don't know, my hometown Cologne, Germany stayed the same, but I changed completely. I don't know, I saw the world, I met different people, and the people around me just didn't change as much as I did, which is quite normal, of course, and I don't want to say that I'm better than them or something, but it was completely different at this point. And this is also the stage where I needed to finish my studies, where I also needed to plan what I need to do after my studies. And of course, the normal thought is, I don't know, getting a job, or maybe do a master's degree after that. But I didn't want to do it. This is why I had two businesses. One was called Global Waves. At this business, I also did it together with my girlfriend, or with the help of her. We basically sold prime bottles, and we just sold them for more money, basically. And this is also a crazy story. So me, one friend, and my girlfriend, we drove in one day from Cologne, Germany to Munich, which is like a 8-hour drive back and forth, because we found out that Logan Paul and KSI have a collaboration with Bayern Munich. And we didn't even check, or I didn't even check, if they have the prime bottles there in the stadium, but we just drove there and they didn't have it. Now this is where everything started, and we bought rare bottles. There were bottles with Dodgers Prime, for example, with the LA Dodgers, or I don't know, some, how's it called? Some mystery Halloween bundles. And this is how it all started. And then I knew, okay, I always want to go in the direction of owning my own business, because always, like, also my family, my parents have their own business, my brother as well. And this is why I knew, okay, there isn't just the way of having like your own job or your own career, but you can also build something yourself, what you love, and this can be your path. And this is why I understood very early. And this is why I always thought, okay, I can be the only one in my family to do a normal job. Not that it's something bad. I mean, we need a lot of people who do jobs and stuff like that. And I mean, I worked for the past 5 years every day in a corporate job. And it's not something that I always enjoyed or loved. I mean, I always felt like I'm, I don't know, kind of stuck in my creativity and what I want to do and what I want to build. And yeah, so this is why I did my businesses. I had another business on the side, which was called Scent Wheels. And this is where I had like, I don't know, like car refresheners, like in the form of a car tire. And it went quite well. I think we did like, I don't know, $2,000 to $3,000 of sales. But it was a very interesting business, but I gave it up because I don't know, I didn't have time for marketing, because I did it next to my job. I worked for a fitness and supplement company. I worked there for like 2 weeks. And I just didn't want to work there anymore. I just quit the job instantly. Then I went to my next job. It's a company in the aerospace. I worked there for a year. I bought myself a Mercedes A200D sedan, which was at this point my most favorite or dream car. Of course, there are like cars which I wanted to buy much more, but this was what I could afford at this stage. But if I think about it, it was still too expensive, and I should have bought just a cheaper car. But it was a very nice experience. You have like the ambient lighting and you're driving there. If I look inside me and inside my emotions, I was still unhappy because I didn't live my dream. I still needed to wake up every day at like 4 or 5 a.m. to drive to my job. I worked overtime, and it's just not what I loved. You know, I just wanted to travel. And also when I like moved to Australia for 6 months, this is also where I fell in love with traveling in general, or looking at different nature, or doing road trips. I just love this. And then we are coming to September 2025, where everything changed. I quit my job, and this was, I don't know, the most difficult decision in my life. Yeah, because I work for a very close person, I would say, and it was very emotional, not easy. And nobody understood why I quit this job, because it was a good job, it was a good pay, it was a safe job, and nobody understood, why are you quitting? What do you want to do? And basically 1 month before, I chatted with I would say friend, or like a mate, which I met in Australia. And I asked him, because I knew that he's like a software developer in Australia, if they are offering jobs, or if I can do like an internship there. And thankfully it worked. Not instantly, but after a couple of months and meetings, it worked. And I could do an internship there, which was unpaid. And this was like the first thought which I had, okay, I'm flying to Australia, but to do an unpaid internship. Of course, I had in mind, okay, maybe they take me and then I can, I don't know, get a sponsorship and get an Australian passport and move to Australia. But in the end, everything went different. And now, look at me, I'm sitting here in Da Nang, Vietnam. It's crazy, guys. I still can't believe that this is my life. And if you will tell me even in March this year that I will be in Da Nang, Vietnam with Liam and with Mabo, and my parents also visiting me tomorrow, which is a crazy side fact. And actually I saw my parents the last time in December and my life was completely different. I was also a completely different person. I was not as disciplined as I am now. I was not as open, and I just completely left my comfort zone, really completely. Yeah, many people were against it or ask me, okay, what do you want to do? And maybe you will come back in a couple of months and you will not make it. And it's true, guys. It's not like a social media shit talk. Like almost nobody believed in me, and yeah, everybody asked themselves, why are you going there? What are you doing there? You can just look for a job maybe in Spain or maybe in Italy, but why do you need to go to Australia? But nobody understood that 2 years ago I just fell in love with the country and that I know the Gold Coast and I have the connection and everything worked. And thankfully I have a friend from 2 years ago. His name is Tyler. Shout out to you. Maybe you are seeing this podcast. And I met Tyler 2 years ago in the Griffith University in the Gold Coast. Yeah, he traveled the world exactly where I need to visit the Gold Coast. And he gave me his entire house and I could live there for like a very small amount of money. And I love you, Tyler. If you see this, you are just the biggest legend. And yeah, I could live at this home for a couple of months, or even altogether, I think it was like 4 or 5 months, because for 1 month my girlfriend visited me from Germany, but the rest I lived at Tyler, and he's such a legend. And we didn't see each other for 2 years and he trusted me completely. So yeah, I just really wish him everything the best, and I guess we will see each other, of course, again. Yeah, I just thought, okay, I need to take this decision and I need to move there. So I applied for my visa because I had the call with my boss, I would say, in Australia. And she told me, okay, you can book your visa. And my visa, guys, now you need to put your seatbelt on. It was just approved 2 days before my flight to Australia. 2 days. Okay, not my flight to Australia, but to Thailand. And I don't know, my parents told me, okay, if your visa doesn't get approved, you don't fly anywhere. And you know, just, I don't know, parents trying to save their child. But thankfully it got accepted, and now I'm here, and now I'm building my own stretching app. So how did I went from going to Australia to do an internship to building my own fitness app? But this is where I got it, in the company where I worked for in Australia. First of all, it was like marketing based, but in the end I worked a lot with AI, with Claude, with Lovable in the beginning of February. And this is also where I got the paid role, but it was, to be honest, a very bad payment. And for guys who know Australia and maybe the Gold Coast, it's very expensive there. Like the rent was thankfully cheap. If I would have to look for an apartment myself, I would pay much more. And I need to cook myself, I need to do everything myself. I had my insurance, and it was enough money, but I wouldn't say it was enough to like put a lot of money on the side. So you know what I mean? Now I'm here in Da Nang. There's a rule in Australia, because I got accepted for the work and holiday visa. So you're just allowed to work 6 months for each employer. And this means that I needed to leave the employer at the end of June. And just to summarize it quick, I had like the time frame from February till May or end of May. This way I gained all the experience. I went to the beach, I started running, I did more fitness, I started my cut as well. And I started building Stretchify in February, because I thought, okay, I'm gaining so nice skills, and I did e-commerce before. And I thought, okay, should I start a new dropshipping business? Should I start, I don't know, maybe trading again? Because I also used to do crypto futures trading before. I actually also traded some, not meme coins, but some shit coins like a couple of years ago. I don't know, I just bought some coins on spot and I'm holding them till today actually. This was like the point where everything changed. So I quit my job in 2025, which was the most difficult decision of my life. I sold my Mercedes, my car, said goodbye to my friends and to my family. And this is where I went all in. It was the most difficult and most toughest decision. But now I'm here, and thankfully, and thanks to God, everything worked out in my favor so far. I always need to knock 3 times on the wood so that nothing bad happens. But the most important thing, guys, also for you and for all of us, is that we stay healthy, because we are really nothing without our health. And this is why I always try to be thankful. And sometimes I also have like a derealization, because we're here with Mabo and Liam, and we are like in the pool, and we are just looking at one spot, and we just think, where are we? Why are we here? And why do we have the privilege to live in Vietnam as digital nomads? I mean, last year, Liam and I visited Mabo at his house, and we slept over, and we planned everything, wanted to go all in to Bali. And I was the one who said, no guys, I need to save some money, I need to keep working on my job. And Mabo and Liam really wanted to go there. But then I didn't expect that I would be the first person to go to Australia. I would never expect that. Sold my car, said goodbye to my friends, to my family. And then in Australia, I started building my own stretching app, Stretchify. I first of all didn't know what I want to name the app. And I also had many different app ideas. But I just analyzed the market a little bit and what my interest is, which is also fitness. But I thought, okay, many people don't take stretching seriously. And there are many stretching apps, but they're very generic. You know, you have a lot of just clips from people who are showing you how to do the exercise, which is also nice, but I want to do something fun. And also at the similar time frame, I started learning Spanish on Duolingo. And I thought, okay, Duolingo is very nice and it looks very cool with animations, a lot of dopamine. And I thought, okay, why not build a similar app, but for stretching? And this is actually what my app is based on. So you can check it out. Stretchify.app is the website, or you can download it now on the App Store on iOS. Android is coming soon. Yeah, we just launched in Europe like 1 week ago. This is why I decided, okay, to build like a gamified stretching app. And now we're trying to go B2C and just to help people to take their stretching routine more seriously. This is also like a similar logic like on Duolingo, because you also have like a streak. You can build friend streaks with your friends. Yeah, you can build your own avatar. You can build your personalized stretching routine. For example, you can tell Stretchy, okay, I went for a run today and it was very difficult, and the algorithm will build your personalized stretching flow built on this. Or you can, for example, also do meditation, and you can meditate for all parts or for all situations which you can imagine. So if you're feeling happy, you can do like a thankfulness meditation, or if you're feeling sad, you can do a meditation which helps you feel better. And yeah, you can also see all the activities which your friends are doing, so you can all motivate each other. You have like a leaderboard, so it's all very cool and made fun, because I think stretching should not be boring, it should be fun, it should connect people. And yeah, so this is where we're going. So if you want to support me, download my app, leave a review. How did I went from being in Australia till being here in Da Nang, Vietnam? Because it are complete different countries and complete different places. It was May 2026 this year, and my boss, I don't want to say fired me, but he didn't want to take me over. The company was in a really bad state, and my boss said we can't do sponsorships at this stage. And I thought, okay, wow, this is shit. Because my plan actually was maybe to get an Australian citizenship, maybe to move to Australia one day, maybe to build a family there. And I don't know, maybe it was in God's hands and he said, okay, no, that's not your path. But then I also decided to do the 88 days. I want to do the 88 days. I didn't do them. I wanted to go on the farm and do them there. But I don't know, nobody took me. I want to go to a banana farm, but it was very difficult to find a job in the time frame. And my time in Australia was coming to an end. So I thought, okay, let's pack all my stuff and go to Bali. So this is why I had no job, I had nothing. I had money saved up, of course, but I didn't have like a safe remote job. And like, I don't know, one day after I got fired from my job, my friend Liam comes in and he has a remote job, but he's still in Germany. And I don't know, if I think about the story, it's like so difficult to believe. But Liam found a remote job through his YouTube video, thankfully, because he was also looking for a remote job. And we have a podcast together, All In and Win. It's a German podcast, but if you're a German viewer, you can check it out. The link is in the description. We do 1 episode a week. Just to summarize it, Liam made it possible that I can, do like a trial at this job and start working there in the marketing section. But then later I moved like more into the dev section. And also because I just gained the experience in the job I had in Australia. So you can see it's like a full circle moment. So yeah, if I wouldn't be in Australia, I couldn't have the job at this stage. So it doesn't make any sense. It's just like a perfect moment at a perfect time. I don't know, just I'm very thankful that I can work there. Maybe my boss will see it. Hi goes out to you. And yeah, so this is why 1 day later I had like a new job. I don't know if it was safe like 1 day after that, but I think like the next week I already worked for this person or for this company. And then I left to go to Bali all by myself. I was in Bali for 3 weeks. I met a lot of different and interesting people. I met traders, I met people who do dropshipping, I met people who have online casinos in Russia. I met so many different and interesting people. And now I'm also going to Bali in like 3 weeks or something. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, after Bali, I flew to Kuala Lumpur for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. And now I'm here in Da Nang, Vietnam, together with Liam first in the 2 months. And now also Mabo joined, which is very nice. Mabo does more like calisthenics content and like fitness content and like also motivational stuff. And Liam tries to document his trading journey. And yeah, so this is why we are all here. Like basically we come from Australia, living there and connecting completely random through YouTube or social media. And then also Liam got me a remote job through social media, and it's so crazy. I just can't believe that this is my life and that I'm now here. And the time just passed by like this. And now we already have the end of August. I celebrated my 23rd birthday like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago here. And yeah, this is where I always started my YouTube videos, that I went all in at 22, but now I'm actually 23 and the time is passing like crazy. And yeah guys, so if you're new to this channel, I would be very thankful if you would subscribe to this channel and like this video, because my core goal of this channel is not to, I don't know, not to flex that I have such a nice life, because my goals are much higher like this. I want to build up my stretching app. I want to become the best version of myself. I'm in the cut right now. I want to lose some weight, to get more fit, and to motivate you guys that everything is possible. Because 1 year ago, I was still in my 9-to-5 job. It's completely crazy. 1 year ago, I was still in the office and I just didn't like my life there. I didn't like the job as much as I like my job nowadays. I can work from anywhere. I'm building my own business on the side. I left Germany. I don't live in Germany anymore. I have my own US company now. And if you would tell me this 1 year ago, I would think, are you stupid? Like it needs to be a lie. It can't be true. I just can't imagine how my next 5 years will be. I mean, I'm slowly starting to plan like my next year, like what I'm going to do. I can also try to tell you like my goals for this year and for next year. So now I'm staying in Da Nang till the 17th of September. Then I'm in Bali till the 1st of November. Then from beginning of November till mid or end of January, I'm in Germany. And then I'm going to Asia again. And from this point, I have no clue where I will be. But I think this is also like the interesting part of life, that not everything is planned. Because back in Germany, I knew everything. I knew I have 30 days in the year, 30 days to live my own life, to travel. And now I'm just planning to travel basically the whole year. And now I'm planning where I will be in Germany or when I will be in Germany, and not when I will have time to travel. And I don't have like to have it at the back of my head, okay, I need to come back, I need to plan like my vacation and stuff, because I can work from anywhere. I have, like I would say, digital skills. And I also want to make my social media journey in general more better and more professional. I want to start doing more cinematic content as well. I want to do better YouTube videos, better short format content, because I used to do like cloud memes and stuff. And of course you get like some more views for that, but that's bullshit, I think. That's bullshit, and it doesn't give me subscribers. It may be funny, maybe I will upload some memes, like I don't know, once every couple of weeks, but I want to give something back. I want to give some value. I don't want to be like the average person on social media, because I did social media a lot in my life before. I had many different YouTube channels. I had a TikTok channel, which I grew to over 200,000 followers. It was also like comedy and sketch content. Yeah, it was a completely different Nikita, not the Nikita which is sitting in front of you today. And I have very high goals as well. I want to scale my app as well. I want to get 10,000 users till next year. It would be a very nice goal to have it. I know it's not impossible, especially like we are looking for many different influencers right now who maybe want to promote the app for getting like percentage of the sales, which yeah, many people or many companies do. So this is how we want to scale the marketing. Of course, we also want to invest in like Meta ads and Apple ads. That's step 2. We need to start with step 1 first. I just really hope that everything goes in the right direction, because most of the time this lifestyle just feels too good to be true. I'm just here, I'm living here. You can look at this view, it's just completely insane. And I just think, why is it my life? Or where's the catch? You know what I mean? Where's the catch? This is what I keep thinking. Because I'm also like a very overthinking person. I think about everything a lot of times, which can be kind of a superpower, but which is also not that good. I shouldn't think a lot about some stuff. But yeah, this is why sometimes I just think about my life situation and I just can't believe that I'm here. But I'm also, on the other side, I'm very thankful for everything, what is happening. And if you want to support me, you can like this video, subscribe to this channel, and check out my app called Stretchify. And if you don't want to miss any further projects, now I'm also going in the direction of meme coins as well, together with Liam. We have like a nice challenge up there. Right now I can tell you I have loaded $125 into my account there. And let's see where we'll be in the next Reatalk video. So we are scaling it step by step, and we are not trying to gamble or something. We're trying to build like a nice strategy. I went from being in a corporate job, being completely unhappy with my life, to going all in and going against all odds. I mean, I went basically to Australia for a free internship, unpaid. I need to pay from all my savings. And now I'm here, living my dream, and you can do it too. If you're watching this and you have dreams, you want to travel, just do it. Really, you have just this life. We all will be dead sometime, and nobody will ask you why you didn't do it or why you did it. So just do it. If you have dreams, do it by yourself. Many people are always waiting for like a travel buddy or who are waiting for a friend, but you can do it yourself. And it wasn't easy all the time. So sometimes I was very sad or miss my family, miss my friends, but you can do it and you will grow more than you think. And yeah, guys, at this point, thank you very much for watching. My name is Nikita. All my socials are in the description. Subscribe to my Instagram and my TikTok, and check out my app, Stretchify. And yeah, thank you very much for watching.